Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. So I was on Twitter X for however long more I can be on it. By the way, there, I'm reading in various places that they may be requiring ID to get on Twitter or whatever, but I won't be doing that. They're not getting my biometrics. No thanks. Anyways, but it's still open, and I was watching this video, and this is a video of the streets of Philadelphia, which I'm sure many of you are already familiar with. This is happening basically in every American city right now. And it's kind of easily being dismissed. These people who are obviously strung out on this drug here called Tranq, Tranq. This loosely ties to Harry and Meghan in that we keep hearing over and over again they're drug addicts. And, as this short clip explains, it only takes once. You could accidentally be take this once, and you can become very addicted to it. And, I'm suspicious that this is part of the all-out war on the people in America, is that a lot of drugs coming over the border, and, according to what I've read, all of the drugs out there of all kinds are being saturated, or they're putting this trank in it. So people who don't even expect it, they're not buying trank, they're buying something else, but they get trank in it, and then they freak out, and they go into this huge uh, reaction that this drug causes. But it could happen to anyone. I mean, somebody could slip it in your drink or slip it on you or something. So I just have a quick play of this clip. So see, the problem here, besides the fact that the public health departments are doing nothing about it, is there's so many people. This isn't just a few addicts here or there. This is like a sudden influx of hundreds of people, if not thousands, at once. And you don't hear about it often, do you? You're not hearing about it at all. I don't hear the government doing anything. I don't hear any, like, we need help, we need to organize. I mean, the winter is coming. You don't hear anything about how it's going, what's being done to help them, what the government's doing to try to, uh, you know, get this under control. There's nothing. You hear absolutely nothing being done about this. Well, that's not actually the what I wanted to show you. There was another one that had a description with it. Let me see if there's. Maybe I lost it. I think I lost it. All right, well, there was another one that gave you the statistics and everything, and I think I accidentally closed the window on it. Well, anyways, it's happening in every major city. It's huge problems, and they're calling it an epidemic, and nobody's doing anything about it, which is suspicious. Just like nobody's doing anything to help Palestine, Ohio. Nobody's doing anything in Maui. As far as when I say nobody, I mean the government, or whatever is you want to call it, the government, whatever the entity is now, whoever's controlling it, whoever's really running it. But the reason I think that this is being intentionally done. Hi, Laura. Hi, Janai Tuppence. I haven't heard about this yet. Well, a year ago, so this is a huge problem. YouTube has a ton of videos. Just do a search on Tranq um, on YouTube. They've got a ton of videos, and it's very sad. I mean, even on Twitter, they're all over the place. And the problem is that look at all these people. They're young, healthy people. And there's hundreds of them. This is not just a few addicts. This is a bunch of people who have been severely poisoned and they can't talk, they don't know where they are. They're in a zombie. They're calling them zombies because they're like zombies. And it's happening all at once, and it's entire streets full of people. I mean, this is an epidemic. This is not your usual number of addictions of okay, I think this is the one I was looking for.
Look
Yeah,
like
right
they are
here.
conscious, but not at the same time. The drug they are on is called xylazine, or more commonly known as Tranq. It is known to place people into a zombie-like state where they are unable to move and seem to lose all awareness. People using the drug are put into a complete trance and can be seen walking around like an animal. The drug causes infections of the limbs, which most commonly result in amputations. It has been described as being so addictive that even a single accidental hit of it could get you hooked. Tranq is now in about 90% of Philadelphia's drug supply and can be commonly found in low-income areas of almost all US cities. You can walk downtown right now and most likely see people like this. Looks like it's time to get out of America for a little bit.
So, yeah, this is what's going on. It's a nightmare. And then on top of that, so but now go back a year ago in 2022 in New York City, they were putting signs like this on the subways, and I have no doubt Soros is behind it. Don't be ashamed of using, be empowered you're using safely. They were encouraging drug use, safe drug use in New York because this explosion of the Tranq, I mean, it's all over the country in every major city. But it started the epicenter is Philadelphia, and they know that, which means this was in my opinion, purposely started, right? I mean, right? We'd never had anything like this before. Now suddenly, boom, we've got hundreds of people who are zombies on the street. And just a year ago in New York, look what the government behind backed public health departments, when they weren't pushing safe and effective things, they were trying to normalize drug addiction. And everybody came out and criticized this, but this came from the city's health department. City Health Department subway ad campaign reassuring hard drug users that they can be empowered by using safely. So they were encouraging young people, others, saying, "Ah, it's okay if you use, just do it safely." Well, don't you know, at the same time, they were slipping this trank into all of the drugs. And this came from the city health department. This wasn't bought and paid for by this was from the government. This is directly from the government, in other words. It's not through some grassroots organization or whatever. And they were saying it's to help empower them. It's part of a larger harm reduction movement. So you see the lies, the word salad to just like the World Economic Forum to decriminalize and outright legalize drugs. And they were claiming that it would stop overdoses or right, giving them safe injection sites. No, instead, what it caused was an explosion of zombies on the streets, is all it's caused. Whoops, wrong one. Not looking for that. All it's done is caused, and again, they're
Is
all
of
over
thee,
YouTube.
sweet
You can just do a search
lovely.
do a search on YouTube for like Philadelphia, the drug addicts. They've got tons of videos. And it's a mess. Because there's hundreds of them. So this is, I believe, part of an attack on us through this drug, drug channels coming over the border with all the drugs. They are purposefully, I forget the word, tainting the drugs or whatever, putting in this trank. And the government's doing nothing to help these people. That people are just ignoring them. But Harry and Meghan do drugs as well, and it's people who do cocaine who are getting caught up in this because it's getting cut in cocaine and everything else. So, I mean, and it's everywhere. everywhere. These are just some videos. Um, and this is after the globalists are encouraging New Yorkers. They're trying to bring it to New York. So that's Philadelphia. Most of those videos are from Philadelphia. They have a problem in New York, but they're trying to make it worse, obviously. The government here is the city health department encouraging this. And then it was like, huh, they're just like zombies. They're called zombies. And do you remember not so long ago, just before this, back in 2021 and earlier, the CDC had a website dedicated to the zombie apocalypse. And if you go there now, oops, the page is gone now. But if you go to Wayback Machine, it's still up. And they had Preparedness 101 Zombie Apocalypse. Is it making sense now? Is it coming together? I was just thinking about it today. I'm like, wow. So was what they're talking about, I think. We're gonna look into it. I'll throw a few cards. I think the CDC, who's also pushing the safe, effective things on us with the DoD and their prototypes, they were talking about a zombie apocalypse, and everybody's like, "What is going on with the CDC? What are they talking about, zombie apocalypse?" Well, I think now we know. I think it was the Tranq. I think it was this poisoning the drug supply and creating hundreds and thousands of zombified people. I mean, you could tell these people are not. Most of them look like they've only recently become addicts. They don't look like these long-term grew up on the street addicts. These people look like they've gotten zonked by something and they could have just gotten there days or weeks ago, and they're in a zombified state, so nobody's paying them any attention, any mind, and so they just leave them there, and they're out of their minds. They're zombies. So this is, I believe, what it was about, and I believe this is part of the attack by the you know who, the obelists. GL obelisks, as I call them, whatever you want to call them. I think this, and they're doing nothing about it. You don't hear anything. And oh, and you can't use Narcan on them. Like normally, if somebody was on fentanyl or something, if they overdosed, you could give them Narcan. Narcan does not work on this drug. So if somebody overdoses, they die. So yeah, I think this was all planned ahead of time, is what it looks like to me. I'm gonna look into it. I think this is the zombie apocalypse and they're trying to spread it. I mean, they actually encouraged the government, the health department actually encouraged people to safely take their hard drugs. Don't be ashamed of using, be empowered, says a young black woman there, Florence, and this one. Fentanyl test strips can help save your life. Yeah, but they're cutting the fentanyl with this trank. So it's actually going to ruin your life. And one woman, there was a story there, the New York Post wrote about one woman who's addicted to, I think, crack, and she'd been taking it for years, crack cocaine. And she said one time they slipped in Trank and she didn't know it was in there. And she says she doesn't remember anything. All she knows is she woke up in Manhattan with no shoes on, screaming, "Where's my husband?" And she woke up in a hospital. I guess a police officer brought her to a hospital, but she had no idea how she got there. She had no idea what happened to her shoes. She's completely blanked out. Like, I don't know how many hours of her life. She has no idea how she got there. So she has no idea what she did for hours. I mean, what this stuff does to your mind, you have no idea where you are or what you're doing. And of course, they get robbed. The robbers are all going down there. That video there shows somebody getting robbed, basically. So thieves and muggers just walk down and just take it from you, and you don't even know it because you're in a trank zombie thing. And one guy's talking about he lost everything there, including his mother's ashes. I mean, it's really sick, twisted stuff. And this is an attack, and nobody's doing anything about it. It just seems like there's nothing, no one's helping them. They're just looking at it like, oh, these drug addicts. No, this is a whole epidemic. This is an attack on these people. And like they said, you could accidentally take it once, i.e., somebody could slip it in your drink and you could end up being hooked to this stuff. So, is what I'm hearing. So, it's pretty scary. It's a horse tranquilizer. Yeah. Yeah. But apparently it's very addictive. And these people, and there's suddenly hundreds of people on the street over almost seemingly overnight. You know, I mean, I know it's been going on for a few years now, but this has been encouraged by our government. Why would the government do that? Why is the government not trying to fix this situation? Why is it not being treated as an emergency, right? I think it's another layer of the attack. We're being, uh, destroyed by a thousand cuts, murdered by a thousand cuts is what it looks like to me. Harry and Meghan better be careful where they buy their cocaine, right? Oh, man. All right, so I'm gonna throw a few cards here. Yeah, that's just unbelievable. They're doing like slow kill. They're doing the slow way, like the masks. They're bringing back the masks now. You heard, right? Oh, this hospital's requiring them. Oh, now that school's requiring masks again. So they're pulling that crap in, and then pretty soon they're going to be doing it everywhere. That sun reversed, going after the children. And it's not being publicized highly. The only videos I see are on social media and some on YouTube, but you don't hear about this in the news too much. They're not admitting to this. Page of Pentacles, like the drugs they're putting in there. They're trying to keep it on the down low. I think that, yeah, this is definitely from over the border attack here. I think it's probably coming from China. I think of Chinese flag with the sun. I think that this is an attack on the children, particularly the young people, for sure. So this is the CDC. Is this what the CDC was talking about with the zombie apocalypse? Is this what the CDC zombie apocalypse was about? Because that tells you the US government and people there behind. Uh-huh. Yeah, look at that. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. The CDC working with another entity here where they got the drugs from. CIA, I guess. Yeah, and giving it out to young people, giving it out in the neighborhoods, to the young people there. They've been planning all this stuff for a long time. And you see how and they do things very slowly. They slowly bring it back in. They're slowly bringing back the masks. Oh, just over here they want it, and oh, over there now. And then suddenly it's everywhere, right? And the same thing with this drug, and the same thing with the border, and the same thing. They're slowly bringing things down and waiting for things to just collapse and happen very slowly but thoroughly here. Yeah, it's really horrifying. Yeah, and didn't it just happen, Acme? Didn't it just seem to come up overnight? Like suddenly there's hundreds of people on the street, right? It was never like that before, not that bad. Yeah. I mean, I'd never seen these videos before a year or two ago. Just suddenly sprung up all these zombies everywhere. So hopefully, and they say that it causes psychosis too. So some of these people, this drug Tranq actually causes psychosis. Not that it makes it worse, which other drugs normally like cocaine or whatever makes, if you have a mental illness, it makes it worse. But no, Tranq actually, if you have a normal mind, it will give you a psychosis. This is pretty scary. Yeah. This is intentional. This is definitely a part of the attack. And so how is it gonna go? Is it gonna keep, oh, see, it's so evil. It's so evil. Excessively so. Yeah. Yeah, this is part of the cabal for sure. It's one of their major attacks here. Very secretive here. Of course, but I mean, they don't have to admit it. They already have the CDC talking about zombies, and then the CDC rips down the zombie page suddenly. Right? They take it down. Once they start doing it, like the Georgia Guidestones, they leave it up there for a while so you all get the message and then whoop, take it down. So, because part of the evil rules that the Satanists live by here, whatever they are, is that they have to tell you what they're doing or what they're gonna do. And so they did. They did the zombie apocalypse and they took it down. They did the Georgia Guidestones, took it down. This is a part of it. So this is definitely look out for everything because they could, slip this into your food or something. Who knows? But they're definitely been pushing this, wanting to push the zombie apocalypse everywhere to add on to everything else they're doing. They're bringing in the illegal immigrants, and then they got the zombies, and then they got people left and right with the yeah, what's keeling over like pilots and stuff. It's really bad. This is how they're taking us down. This is how they're doing it. Yeah, so easy to infiltrate. Uh-huh. Yeah, but there's so many people. I mean, just suddenly hundreds of people. You know. For the past this is only the past couple of years I've been seeing this, and it's getting worse and worse, and it's spreading everywhere else. And then in New York City, they're saying, "Here, it's okay to take drugs, just do it safely." Yeah. You can't do drugs safely. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know what it's really cut with. It's insane. Oh my goodness. Um, yeah, yeah, this is really scary. So I was just thinking about that today, along with the food plants blowing up and everything else happening, fires everywhere, etc. I'm like, this is another version of the attack. This is just another version of it. So it is very evil. So how will it go? How will this? Let me see. Let me throw a few cards here. How successful are the evil ones going to be with this Tranq zombie attack? Mm-hmm. Yes, they're gonna be causing a lot of heartache, a lot of broken homes, a lot of destroying people's lives. They're also ruining these people's lives. They get high on this trank, next thing you know, they have nothing. Oh my goodness. They're gonna be doing a lot of damage with this, like a phenomenal amount. This trank attack is going to be, and this is like shooting themselves up, like needles there, but I don't think they actually do. I don't know if they shoot it up or they snort it or smoke it. But whatever it is, it's like you can see that. In addition to the myocarditis, pericarditis, and you know what? This is very destructive, and they're very quiet about it, and the government's not doing anything to help. So they're encouraging the use. They're saying, "Oh, you can come here and take some more over in this room." They're giving them spaces to take drugs instead of trying to get them off drugs. And I guess it's racist to help someone get off drugs, right? It's really sickening stuff, really evil, and very destructive. They're going to continue being extremely destructive. These are normal, not, a normal, young, healthy person makes one mistake with this, trying something, and yeah, the court systems it's taxing our court systems, and most of them are going to end up in prison. They're going to end up putting them probably end up if those that survive, they're not incarcerated already. They'll end up incarcerated or something, or in who knows where in the long term what's going to end up happening. But it's very destructive, and the only thing that the justice system needs to step in, and of course there needs to be more addressing this whole situation and how it got here and who's handling it, and of course stopping and preventing these dangerous drugs coming over the borders, and stopping it being distributed, etc. They did the war on drugs needs to be brought back, right? I mean, this is out of, especially in the Philadelphia area, wherever they're getting this stuff from, they could stop it from coming in, but of course if it's the government doing it, I guess they don't want to, right? So yeah, this is out of control. It shows how out of control our police forces and border patrol and all that, and how they're all just collapsing here, purposefully collapsed. So it's really a horrendous situation. I don't see it. What will make it? What could improve things here? Needs to be addressed first? I mean, uh-huh. Okay, so I got the moon. I get like the drug dealers, the coyotes coming over the border with the drugs. The border needs to be dealt with. And again, the idea of foreigners, the foreign trafficking there, the trafficking, and also the human trafficking, don't forget. And of course, yeah, those who are making the money from this, those who are benefiting, yeah, the drug dealers, the kingpins, the ones on top, the big ones, and yeah, I need to be vigilant, and we need to be looking out for it and alerting people to it, informing them, getting the word out. It's really not safe at all to take any kinds of drugs, so it's really reckless. I mean, I guess Harry and Meghan feel secure. They probably have a very elite connection to get their stuff. They probably get it directly from Escobar's lab, or something. They might feel safe now, but I gotta tell you, this is really scary what they're doing to these people and how widespread it's happening. I mean, this is the epidemic going on. It seems the real epidemic, which is not, in my opinion, what. But it's this. I think we're being attacked, and people are just turning their away from it because they're just looking at them like, oh, they're just a bunch of addicts. It's like, no, 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 no. This is a much more serious situation. This is an attack. This is being used. This is weaponized poisoning. This is basically poisoning. And these people can't talk. If you take it once, they can't communicate. They can't. I mean, this is an emergency, and I'm shocked that the government is encouraging drug use and not trying to clean this up and not trying to fix the problem and stop these dangerous drugs from coming in more. There should be an all-out. If we had a competent system, it would be being addressed, right? There would be, emergency crews there setting up their tents. What I mean? Not for some, anyways. Yeah, I mean, if these people the drugs are coming in from somewhere, right? These zombies obviously can't get around to getting it themselves without it coming to them. But this is really bad. This really needs to be stopped because it's huge. It's too huge to be. It's not normal. This is beyond. Uh, yeah, it's beyond. It's a crisis here, and it's not normal at all. And it's part of the globalist attack, cabal attack, is what I'm seeing. And somehow child trafficking is involved in this as well. It's the same people involved, I think, as well, that we always hear about. Anyways, that's all I wanted to put up today. That's what was on my mind. I hope you enjoyed this. If so, please like and subscribe. And I hope you all have a wonderful day.